Yeah, we are back at it again. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 just wrapped, and here's my review. This is a crazy season, man. I love how focused this is. It's way more focused than Season 1. Season 1 went through a lot of rewrites and reshoots. This one, you knew these guys, the new directors and creators of this show, had a plan. They wanted to get away from all those imperfections the first season did and just really improved on this season. The narrative is so much more cleaner this season, so much more easier to follow, and much more invested. It gets you much more invested than last season did. And that's pretty crazy because I didn't hate the first season. I thought it was alright, but this season was just better. I think there is a bit of a time jump from the last season's finale to this season's first episode. We see Matt and he's recruiting his team to take on Mayor Fisk and the anti-vigilante task force. But this time, Daredevil's got a brand new suit. He's got that black suit with the interconnecting D's on it. Oh, it was just so cool. And throughout the episodes, you see that suit shedding its paint. And you just actually see the red coming out. So it was like a mixture of black and red with the interconnecting D's. Just so raw. And Daredevil's a savage this season. He, like always. Much like those standout episodes of last season, this is the whole season of just that. The great cinematography, the great choreography. Like the way Daredevil fights and the way Matt senses things with his senses. The aspect ratio goes up and down. And then the sound is dilated. And even when he's fighting as Daredevil, his billy club skills, the camera always pans you with where he's deflecting the billy club or like where he's throwing it at and how it hits someone in the face. And you feel those punches. Those punches hurt. Like when you hear one boom, like with the leg or something, or a fist, you're like, oh God, that's going to leave a mark. Especially with scenes that feature Bullseye. They have much more fun with Bullseye this season. I did love that. It got very creative. I do love how Daredevil's not alone this season. He's got some people fighting on his side. It's not just him versus Fisk. He has the White Tiger, Victor Yala's niece, who's becoming White Tiger. He has Karen Page. He's got Jessica Jones. He's got some senators on his side as well. So yeah, Matt's going to go in to take this to justice. He even has Bullseye on his side at one point, and I was like, that's going to be some messy shit, and yet it was very satisfying how it all panned out. Also, seeing Matt and Jessica Jones work together again, that fight scene in one of the episodes was so tough. Their team-up fights are always insanely entertaining. Watching this week to week, I was like, damn, where's Jessica Jones at? And then Jessica Jones is really saved for the last couple episodes of the season. And I thought she was going to be in it like a little bit more like how the Punisher was in episode 4 of last season. Then he was in the last episode of last season. She's in like the last 3 episodes of this season. So you didn't get much of her in the beginning, but when she does appear, it does pay off. Maybe they're saving her a bit in this season because of what season 3 is going to have in store for us. And I cannot wait for that. And I'm glad. It's good that Matt has a team to back him up because what Fisk does in this season is just siege, carnage everywhere on the streets of New York to an insane degree. It spreads out very much to the point where you're like, where are the other heroes in this who live in New York? They're not here? They're just going to sit this one out? All right. But you see Fisk's his power is just insanely large, and also it's dangerous because the anti-vigilante task force, what they do in this season in every episode is very dark. It's very sad. These guys are dicks, and you know it. The anti-vigilante task force just spreads carnage all over New York to a very unsafe degree. These guys go harder on the non-superpowered people than they do on the actual superpowered people. But then you see people slowly believe that Fisk is not the right answer for New York City. He's just taking over everything, and it's not good. It's making New York more unsafe than it already was, and even more now. I do like how they make the sides more clear, like who stands with who. No one's interconnecting with anybody. We just have Daredevil's people and Fisk people. Like the people with Fisk, you have the British spy Buck, you have Daniel, you have that grumpy ass lawyer, you have Matt's ex-girlfriend, the therapist, who still believes she took out Muse by herself. And so in this season you have her head shoved up even further up her own ass. So yeah. And Daniel, I actually enjoyed the dynamic between Daniel and Buck. Like Buck is Fisk's right hand man, like how the other British guy was in the season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil series. He's just like that, but for this new show. And he tries to take Daniel under his wing because he knows Daniel wants to do right by Fisk. So he's like, okay, do these things for Fisk, work more and more for him so he'll see you as a right-hand man one day. And where that takes us, oh my god! And then that leads us to the dynamic between Daniel and BB from the BB report. Yeah, they get close. They're friends. Like you can tell that Daniel's really feeling that girl, and that girl BB does not give a flying fludger about that kid, dude. Doesn't even want to throw him any. Daniel just wanted to bag it, and yeah, that girl just friend zoned his ass, and that was just very bad to see. Especially what it led to, because golly, that was just some grimy stuff. BB just uses Daniel to get some dirt on Fist for her own shitty YouTube series, and she puts herself in all these dangerous situations where it can get them both killed, and eventually that catches up with her. And cause, yeah, BB's the reason why Daniel got smoked, bro. Daniel did not want to give her up because he's the biggest simp in the world. And yeah, he died for her. Buck shot him in the face, and yeah, he's gone. He's dead now, and BB gets to go home. So yeah, but at least what BB did win in the finale when she revealed herself as that Wilson Fisk internet troll who just reveals all the lies and corruptness that Fisk is all about. She wears a full-on Wilson Fisk costume like it's SNL or some shit just to put the dirt on him, get the word out. So yeah, her revealing herself, yeah, I guess that was the best thing for you to do, man. But can't say the same for Daniel. R.I.P. There were 2 episodes in particular where it was just some downtime. Like we had episode 4 where that led up to the Wilson Fisk boxing match. It was the most bullshit event ever because you could tell this is the most one-sided fight ever. Just Wilson Fisk beating the actual snot out of this boxer, and I'm like, dude, this is so one-sided. And then where it led to with Bullseye trying to take out Vanessa, and he actually succeeds. Like Bullseye throws Wilson Fisk merch at Vanessa, and then Fisk manages to block it with his bullshit win boxing belt, and then the glass shatters from the snow globe, and then one of the glasses actually hits Vanessa in her cranium, like the side of her head, in her brain, and she's rushed to the hospital. At that point, I was like, okay, she's dead. Wilson Fisk, you had to take an L. You're doing nothing but causing more terrorism and carnage and unhappiness throughout all of New York since you've been elected mayor. You had to lose something. Everybody's lost so much. It's time for you, buddy. And yeah, then we get to next episode where it's just Daredevil trying to nurse Bullseye back to health for some reason, and then we cut to see Wilson Fisk and Vanessa at the hospital, and we stretch out a whole episode with nothing but callbacks and flashbacks to the original Netflix Daredevil series. And then finally at the very end, very end, Vanessa does die, and Wilson Fisk is folded with rage, and I'm like, damn, this couldn't have just been one episode. Didn't even need that other episode. You could have just taken that one episode out of this series, and it would have been okay. Nothing would have changed. Things still would have went the way they did. Then episodes later, the finale, episode I just saw an hour ago, and yeah, shrimp got real, bro. I'm happy all the court cases are so engaging to watch. I was there seeing Matt Murdock reveal himself. Like, Matt Murdock's been missing this whole season, but he reveals himself like he's back. I'm cool. I'm good. Let's get to me being a really good lawyer. So when he's taking that other crappy lawyer to school and just shitting on him at every chance he gets because he's such a better lawyer than he is, I was so engaged. I was so happy. I was clapping in my seat being like, yeah, Matt Murdock, you solved that case. And bring Fisk to justice. Then when Wilson Fisk enters the courtroom, and Matt's there, and you could feel that tension. You could cut that tension with a knife. It's that insane. Especially since Fisk knows everything about Matt, and Matt knows everything about Fisk. And then you think that Fisk has one ace in the hole to ruin Matt Murdock's life, but then Matt Murdock just does it himself. So Fisk has nothing. Matt reveals himself in the courtroom that he is Daredevil. It even shows it. He proves it. Throws his cane, ricochets it off the wall like it's his billy club, and gets it back in his hand. He is Daredevil. And Wilson Fisk is just shitting his pants in the corner. At that point, Fisk is on the chopping block. He can't do anything. He's going to be out of the mayor's office. But as someone used to say, when in doubt, crash out. And that's exactly what Wilson Fisk does. He crashes the heck out. He fights all the people who are wearing Daredevil masks, like they're protesting him to be out of office. He's physically fighting them. He gets that much enraged that he's like, I'm going to throw hands with everything I see. And the things he does to these innocent people, I'm like, oh my God, you definitely can't be mayor anymore. We have footage of you beating the shit out of civilians. He's breaking these people's backs. He's like punching people so hard they fly across the room and their necks break on the impact. I'm like, damn, dude, this is nuts. But luckily, we have Daredevil and Jessica Jones fighting all of the anti-vigilante task force, and even have White Tiger joining in the fight. And I was glad to see her skills. And they're all beating the piss of all this task force. I'm like, it was just so satisfying to watch, dude. I'm like, yeah, justice has been served the right way. This season was rad. Narratively, it keeps you invested. The cinematography is so great. The choreography is very that much badass, the way it's always been. Minus 2 filler episodes that I feel like can be removed. Well, more like just one, but still. Then at the very end, Wilson Fisk is offered a deal. It's a very simple deal. Step out of office, leave New York, and we will not prosecute. Then you see Wilson Fisk like a big man-child all beaten up on the floor. He's like, I will not leave New York. Then Daredevil looking at him, he's like, yeah, it's what needs to happen. And at that point, I didn't know if I was missing something. I just thought, okay, they brought Fisk to justice. They got him out of office, and he's going to leave. And then it pans, and then him and Matt and Karen are at this diner. And then they're having a nice time. They're just living normal life. They're like, how are we going to settle back since all this is over? They're like, I don't know how I'm going to adjust. And then you hear a siren. This cop car pulls up, and Matt Murdock gets on his knees. I'm like, why are you getting on your knees, bro? Then Matt puts his hands above his head, and I'm like, what the heck? Is he about to get arrested? And then, yeah, a cop pulls in, and he's like, Matt Murdock, you're under arrest for attempted murder and all this other stuff. And then Matt's like, okay, yeah, Daredevil's crimes. Yeah, like Daredevil's crimes? Like, wouldn't this all be debunked now since Fisk's out of office? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't really make it clear. It just leaves you with that weird feeling like, oh, they both went down. I'm like, you took one out. I'm taking one with you. Like, it's just insane to me. So Matt Murdock's in jail now, and oh my god, if they do this, this is the perfect setup. So yeah, Matt Murdock gets sent to prison in an orange jumpsuit at the end of the season. And then also we have another Marvel movie coming out in July called Spider-Man Brand New Day, and he's fighting the Hand in the prison, and the Hand are Daredevil villains. So correct me if I'm wrong. Do you guys think if Matt Murdock was in a jail cell and he notices and overhears Spider-Man fighting the Hand villains that he's been crossing paths with for a long time now, and he sees Spider-Man struggling with them by himself, do you think he's just going to sit that one out? I sure as hell don't think so. I think Matt will just jump in and try to help him. Then they will team up and take them all down. It goes against Matt Murdock's character, but they're both in the same prison, and Matt does nothing about it. So, yeah, I genuinely hope we get Spider-Man and Daredevil team up in Spider-Man Brand New Day, them fighting the Hand. Because that's been on my wish list for a long time, and for a Spider-Man movie, that's one of the things I really, really want to see. And Brand New Day has the perfect setup for it. So we'll see me back in July when I review Brand New Day and see if I got my wish. We'll see. In the end, guys, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 was great. It was a great season of television, peak television at that. Much more focused narrative, shot way better than last season. Fights were badass, choreographed to their finest degree. Every character you latch onto, you just get hooked on this story. You really want to see what happens in the end. And I just did. And I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat for all these episodes. Except for episode 5. That's the filler one I was talking about. But nonetheless, I can forgive whatever episode if the rest of the season it was top tier. And the rest of the season was top tier. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 gets an A.